of the biggest reasons that my channel exists is to point out the double standards that men and boys face in today's society, and how women use those double standards, ones that they've created, to put men down, either in derogatory ways or by making fun of them. The goal, of course, being to other them, to make them seem lesser, not worthy. Because in most women's eyes, that's the best way to show that they're strong and independent, even though it does anything but. And nowhere does that example show itself more than when it comes to domestic violence. Even though study after study has shown that men are victims of domestic violence at the hands of women every bit as much as the reverse, little or no caring or consideration is given to those male victims. Instead, they're the butt of jokes. They get picked on, laughed at, and it has become so prevalent in today's society that women have no problem making videos like this.
Do women ever just look at men and be like, I'd hit that?
Like with my car?
Now I can hear all the ladies screaming from the rooftops right now, it's a joke, she doesn't really mean it. Really? Does she? I'm going to show you just how the response actually is from women. But before I get to that, I want all you ladies to answer a question for me and put it in the comments. Would you be okay if I made the very same video in reverse, saying, sure, it's okay to run a woman over with a car? I guarantee you, you wouldn't. You'd be calling me every name in the book and reporting the video over and over. And that video would likely get taken down by the various social medias as promoting hate or violence. Yet this very video has been up for quite a while and has tens of thousands of comments, likes, and other forms of support. Let that sink in for a moment. It shows you just how depraved today's society is towards male victims of domestic violence and how it's actually promoted through videos like this. And yes, I said promoted because it actively encourages women to do exactly what she said. Oh, what? You don't believe me? Let's look at some of the comments on the video. As I scroll through this, look at the comments. Do you see even a single one that calls this woman out for making this video? No, they're all in support. They're all positive. In fact, as I film, there isn't a single comment calling the woman out for what she said in this video. Not one. We hear all the time how women expect men to hold other men accountable for the despicable acts that they do. But expecting a woman to hold another woman accountable? Yeah, that's not going to happen, and it's misogynistic to even suggest it. They're even coming up with ways to justify it, blaming their hormones of all things, because apparently women are incapable of controlling their hormones, yet these same women expect men to all the time. It speaks volumes about the mindset of today's modern woman. And it also explains why every woman should be viewed as dangerous, especially the ones making these kind of comments. Because if they have no problem saying what they're going to do or bragging about how they'd like to do it in public, on the internet no less, imagine what they're capable of doing in private. And that's exactly what happens. Every woman that you see commenting on this video should be considered dangerous, capable of committing domestic violence. They're literally bragging how they'd like to do it. And as I said earlier, can you imagine if a bunch of men said the very same things? Can you imagine what would happen to that video and every comment on it? It would be taken down in a heartbeat. Yet all these comments and that video remain. It shows you exactly how little caring, kindness, and consideration is given towards the fact that men are the victims at the hands of women of domestic violence on a daily basis. It shows that no one cares. No one. And every one of those women should be ashamed of themselves for contributing to that mindset. And to be sure, they are contributing to it. Now, I already know this video is going to get reported and flagged because God forbid we have this discussion. Worse, a bunch of them will say, but, it's just a joke. As I said earlier, is it? Is it really a joke? Because if you can't handle it being done in the reverse, and you can't, to claim it's a joke now, well, let's just say disingenuous doesn't even begin to cover it. Millions of men are the victims of domestic violence on a daily basis. Yes, daily basis. Isn't it time that we started showing some compassion for them? The very same compassion that we give towards female victims. It's long overdue, and it's time we stopped making fun of the male victims and using them as the butt of jokes, simply to get a few clicks and likes.